Hey, do you worry about, do you think that you're not creative? Do you worry and think that, I'm just not creative? This is something that can really hold you back from painting, from either getting to the canvas to keeping going once you've started painting. So I'm going to be talking about things that will help you, some encouragement and some tips. Hey, Melissa. Thanks for joining me today. Always love seeing you here. And so I'm Heather Freeman. I'm with the Painted Playground, and I get to teach women how to have fun painting. So let me see. I got to get to a page here in my sketchbook. Just doing find a blank page. Got out a few of my favorite colors. Awesome topic. Yeah, so let me know. Is that something that comes up for you? Worrying about I'm not creative. And it's usually, stemming from I'm not good enough. And so we're going to be talking about that today. And I'm going to be starting by painting words. Words are so powerful. Hi, I really need this today. Awesome, Kathy. Well, we are going to be talking about it, and let me know what resonates with you. You can comment below, and if one of these points that comes up really resonates with you, yes, girl, it does. Let's talk about it. So one of the things that, this all kind of came about because a lot of the people that paint with me bring this up, and they say, it's funny, not funny, but it's a little ironic because they're here painting with me and getting ready to dive in, and they're saying they're not creative, or they're already painting with me and they're saying, they're just feeling stuck and not feeling creative, when they are, and they just don't realize it, and they kind of put themselves in a little box, and because they're actually creative in many other areas of their life. They just forget that they're creative when they come to the canvas as well. And so, that first thing that we really need to think about is our mindset and how we think about creativity and how we think about ourselves. And so we got to start with, I am creative. And that's where I'm starting today. And so, a lot of times that's where I start on the canvas, is with those words and reminding myself I am creative and setting that intention. And so just taking a few minutes to write that down, and sometimes it happens before I even get to the canvas. So I journal a lot, and it'll pop up in my journals. I use a lot of different kinds of journals for writing and sketching and drawing and just writing my thoughts down. And sometimes it requires getting that limiting mindset out of my head and switching it. We got to switch it. We got to turn on and remind ourselves we were born creative. We were meant to be creative. We are creating every day in our lives. Every day that we get up, we're creating a new day. It hasn't happened yet. That is up to us to create, and we are creating that every single day. And we are creating it when we come to the canvas. So writing it down in your journals. I've got some fancy journals here, some really fun ones that I love writing in and sketching in. And then I've got your total basic, which I picked up at the grocery store. And I use this for writing down and really reminding myself that I am creative. And so sometimes we just got to do that, right? So give me a thumbs up if that resonates with you. Really starting with that mindset of I am creative. I am artistic. Sure, there's there's skills and things that we can build, but it really starts with our mindset and our imagination and how we think about our own creativity and who we are as creatives. So writing that down, using those words, I oftentimes will just start reminding myself on my canvas, and that's the first layer that you can play with. So I am creative. I am creating the canvas of my life. I am painting canvas of my life. I am creative. So a lot of times that's where I start, is just really reminding myself, hi, I really need this today. Oh yeah, I already read that one. So just trying to catch up with my comments as they're coming in. So yeah, so we can start at the canvas. And if that feels hard, if that feels like a struggle, start with at the journal. Go to the journal and write it down. We've got to think it. And then the next thing we need to do is feel it. So it's one thing to think it, but then to really have that emotional connection and to feel that you're creative, that's the next step. And so we've got to think about, sometimes I think we get stuck on, I can copy things, or if somebody tells me what I need to do, I can do it, but that doesn't make me creative. Like, I'm not creative when I do that. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are still a creative human being. And you can be creative when you're copying. And copying, the masters have copied. They learned, and it gave them a space to be able to experiment and discover and play and really find out what resonated with them, like whether they liked certain colors, or they experimented with compositions by copying from painters that were before them. So there is, I know there's some people think that copying is not being creative or not being artistic. I'm putting the kibosh on that, because it definitely is. And it's part of the process. It's part of the process of connecting with that inner artist that we all have inside of us, and, figuring out what works for us, what we love to do, whether it's with color or composition or different marks that we make, different shapes that we make. It all comes through this, copying and seeing what's out in the world already and doing it for ourselves to connect with that feeling of, oh yeah, that feels good. Oh yeah, I love how they use that color in that painting. I'm going to use it in mine. That color combination, I love it. It just makes me feel really good. And I want to see if I can do that in my painting. That's what it's all about. That's where it starts. So connecting with that feeling good. And then once you try it and you're like, oh, maybe I don't really like that so much. Or yeah, that really does jazz me. So that's really the second piece, is making that emotional connection and feeling it, and feeling what you like to paint and what you don't like to paint. So copying is okay, and it's the first step. So anyone that tells you it's not, you don't have to listen to them, because you know better. All right, just playing with my blue here. Made some purple. I'm just smushing around top of that first layer of words. That reminds me, I am creative. So then, after we've got the right mindset, after we've connected and feel that passion for, yes, I am creative, then we got to take action. We got to use it, right? So once we are, so maybe we've been copying for a while, and if you keep copying and that's all you do, then you're never really going to know what your potential is and what the possibilities are. So at some point, you got to step out and say, all right, it's time for me to really see where I can go with this and how I can put my personal touch on this and how I can make it my own. So it is great to copy and use that as a starting point, and that is okay, and you don't have to listen to anybody else say that it's not. And then at some point, it's important to take action and to use what you've learned, what you've discovered about yourself and about what you like to paint, whether it be the subject matter or the style of painting. So it could be, figurative or abstract or, symbolic or, what's another one? All kinds of styles of painting. I think I named most of them. Once you've discovered that, it's really putting it into play and making it your own. So after you've, really developed that connection with I am creative, and you feel it, you're connected with your paintbrush, and it kind of connects from your heart to your paintbrush to the canvas. And you've played around and you've discovered what really jazzes you up and makes you feel good, then you can really start to play around and make it your own. So let me know in the comments. I hope this was helpful today. It's one of the most common roadblocks for creatives, and really it starts with our mindset and how we see ourselves as creatives. So if you're stuck in that and you don't even see yourself as creative, then start there. Start working on your mindset. Start journaling about it. Start, helping yourself see that you are creative. Then you need to feel it. And so you need to start making that emotional connection, right? And then taking action. So once you're feeling it, you're thinking it, all those things align, and then you take action to put it on the canvas. All right? So thanks for hanging out with me today. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up. If there's a takeaway, if there's a aha moment for you, put it down in the comments. Let me know what it is. If you have one that you want to add to it, let me know in the comments. And then share it with a friend. If you've got a creative friend that this could be helpful for too, share it. Share it freely. Because the more people we have painting and enjoying themselves and expressing themselves on the canvas, I believe the more beautiful our world will be. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time at the canvas. All right, bye for now, you guys.